probably heard about folks like Wyatt Earp, Jesse James, Doc Holliday, and Wild Bill Hickok. Legends of the frontier whose stories are known all over the world. The Old West is full of tales about courageous men and women who helped shape the country. But this isn't another tall tale about some make-believe pistol-packing paragon of justice wandering the territory looking for another wrong to right. No, the story you're about to hear is about three men who are by no means saints, but often found themselves in aid of those who could not stand up for themselves. Brave and often ruthless men who traversed the territories, leaving a trail of death in their wake. This is the story of three brothers. This is the legend of the Brothers Phloater. After having delivered the thieving con man Colton Breyer to the authorities in Annisburg and clearing their names, the Brothers Phloater decided to head south. It's early in the morning when the three arrive in the port of St. Denis. Phil, the eldest brother, is in the lead. He's a powerfully large, intimidating individual who's as smart as he is strong. He's followed by Phrank, the middle brother. Blind since the day he was born, he's often the voice of reason and one of the deadliest shots in the territories. The youngest brother, Pheart, is a temperamental man who is quick to violence. And this morning, he's bringing up the rear of the group, keeping his sharp eyes open for possible threats to his family.
All right. Now I want you two to listen and listen good. I don't want to linger here too long, which means I don't want either of you stirring up trouble. We're going to make our trades, get our supplies, and get the hell out of town. Now, I'm going to head over to the post office and see if we got any messages waiting. I expect Maggie's right sore at us at the moment for not helping with her last delivery.
Aw, hell, Phil. She'll understand when we tell her it was 'cause we chased off them regulators who were fixing to raid her still operation.
Oh, that's if she even gives us a chance to explain ourselves. She's as likely to shoot us as to listen.
That's why I'm going to send a letter to her so as we don't have to shout over her blasting that double barrel of hers at us. Pheart, you head over to the trade circle and see what we can get for them skins. Phrank, you go to the general store and see about topping off our supplies. We'll come fetch you when we're done.
Hey, Phrank, don't forget to get me some ammunition.
Yeah, I'll get your damn bullets.
You know, I still don't know how he manages to get around without eyes.
And I still don't know how you managed to get around without a goddamn brain.
What was that now?
Go and get those furs traded. Morning, mister.
Good morning.
Bam. Fine morning, isn't it?
Good morning.
If those idiot brothers of mine can manage to stay out of trouble, maybe we could make time to get ourselves a nice steak and some roast potatoes. Be nice to have a proper meal before we head out again. Something that pairs with one of them fine whiskeys they got here. What do you say, Bailey? Steak for me and some fresh oats for you? How's that sound, boy? Yeah, alright, I suppose you've earned a little more than oats. Alright, I'll throw in some carrots and apples, too. That's a good boy. Alright. You just wait here, then we'll see about those carrots. Morning, folks. Well, good morning, sir. You got any letters for Philip Fergus?
Fergus, you say? Let me check.
Appreciate it if you'd hurry.
Ah, yes. Here we are. Hope it's good news.
Well, I doubt that, but thank you. This is for your trouble.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, figured Maggie'd be sore. Well, she's always been rather eloquent in her threats, but that's a new one. I'm not even sure that's physically possible. Well, we'll give her a few months before we try to visit her again, just to be safe. Okay, who's this one from? Well, son of a bitch. I never thought I'd hear from her again.
My dearest Philip, it has been far too long since last we spoke, and I must confess to you that I am deeply remorseful for the way our relationship was concluded. My life in your absence has been far less than satisfactory, and I find myself full of regret that I did not run off with you that night when you asked me. Maybe if I had had the courage to leave, I would not be here wondering how different things might be. And I lament that I will never know if I made the correct choice that late summer evening. I have, of course, heard the tales of your adventures in the time since we were parted. Many of these tales paint you as some kind of ne'er-do-well or scoundrel lowlife. I've even heard you referred to as a wild animal unfit to live on God's earth. However, I know in the deepest place in my heart that you must have been forced to violence in service and protection of those who could not help themselves. It makes me so proud knowing that you're out there helping those in need. You are no doubt wondering why, after so many years, I am writing to you. I do wish desperately that it were to inform you of something glad. However, I, like so many others, am in need. The details of my precarious situation would take up far too much parchment and still not bear the dire nature of my situation. I beg of you to come hear my plea in person. You are the only person I feel I can trust, my sweet Philip. Please return to me at my father's ranch as quickly as possible. With endless hope for your swiftness, Catherine Morgan.
Hey, Phil!
Hey, what?
Christ, Phil, I've been calling your name for like 5 minutes now. If it wasn't for the fact that I could smell you and hear you breathing, I would have thought I was talking to the goddamn wall again.
Sorry, little brother. Hey, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be getting us supplies.
I was, but apparently the general store had some kind of incident with a fire last week. Fella I met said it's going to be another month before they're back in business.
Well, where are people getting their goods then?
He said there's a waiting list and that when stuff comes in on the train, people gotta go to the platform and just hope they're lucky. You all right? You sound a little odd.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just got a letter I wasn't expecting.
Is that where that flowery scent is coming from?
Yeah, I hadn't even noticed.
Please tell me you ain't getting mixed up with some fancy schmancy lady of standing again. I am getting sick of being chased out of town because you've gone and robbed some plantation owner's daughter of her virtue again.
Okay, that happened one time.
2 times by my reckoning.
Once. And, as I recall, you relieved her sister of the burden of her own virtue, and in the barn, no less.
I promise you, big brother, Mary Beth Higgins' virtue was long gone by the time I knew her in that way. Hey, wait a minute.
Give me that back.
Ah, shit. Not Miss Kitty Morgan. Phil, tell me we're not riding off to Strawberry to see Miss Kitty Morgan. I am begging you here.
Where the hell is Pheart?
Stanley Wyatt Morgan is probably the most powerful man in West Elizabeth, not to mention one of the most hateful, Phil, and he really did not like you courting his only daughter. Did you forget how his men chased us through them mountains? How they hunted us day and night?
We didn't have that many skins to trade.
We were lucky to get out of that canyon with our lives. And then, you abandoned us, Phil. You left Pheart and I on our own for nearly a year. You remember that?
Yes, I fucking remember, okay? But could you focus for one goddamn minute? Our little brother is wandering around the city unsupervised with 2 fully loaded revolvers. So can we put a pin in this discussion and find Pheart before he kills someone because they was breathing in a manner he didn't like, and then we have to shoot our way out of town again? Is that all right?
Okay. Let's go find Pheart. But this conversation isn't over. Hey, Phil. What are the chances Pheart found a saloon?
Oh, shit. Now why'd you have to go and say that for? Let's hurry up. This way, Frank. I can see his horse. Trader's Market's just up the road.
Well, we haven't heard any gunshots, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Why don't you wait here with the horses while I go fetch the runt? There you are, Pheart. What is taking so long?
This little shit sucker is refusing to give me a fair price for these fine furs we worked so hard to gather. This, sir, is a premium bear hide from Roanoke Valley. I killed this one personally, and I'm here to tell you he was a monster.
I already told you, son. This is nothing more than bighorn sheep, and I've already got too much of it.
I am about this close to filling you full of lead, mister.
Settle down, Pheart. How much for the lot, friend?
And they're all in good condition. But as I said more than a few times to your man here, I got more than I can trade. I can give you $2, but that's all.
They're worth at least 10.
We'll take it.
What?
I appreciate your understanding. There you are, son. $2.
Thank you, sir. Let's go, Pheart.
$2 lousy dollars? $2 lousy stinking dollars? I should have shot that fat bastard and just taken every cent he had for them furs.
Let it go, little brother.
We could have taken everything to Emerald Station and made $500 easy. All them furs, you practically gave them away. He gave them away, Frank. Gave all those furs we got.
Forget it, Pheart. I think we got bigger things to worry about right about now. Our big brother got himself a letter.
So? Wasn't he expecting a letter?
Not one smelling like sweet perfume.
Oh, shit. Which one was it? Vivian Hurley or Francine Vandervelt? Oh, or how about that one with a really big bosom? You know, Frank, the one that you said always smelled like she bathed in rose water to hide the piss smell?
Arlene Montgomery.
Yeah, that's the one. We all nearly got hung over that piece of business.
You both know that was just a big misunderstanding.
That ain't how I remember it. That woman had you so whipped, I was ashamed to call you kin. I was positive she had your manhood wrapped in a cheesecloth in her handbag.
She wouldn't have been the first.
All right! Now that is enough! I have no intention of spending the next 2 weeks listening to you two fucking milk drinkers analyzing any of my previous courtships and pointing out my missteps. In fact, I'm invoking the Mexico rule.
You can't invoke the Mexico rule here, Phil.
He's right.
Yeah.
We only agreed to the Mexico rule if it actually happened in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
If it happens here in the territories, it's fair game.
Right?
I am invoking the Mexico rule for the remainder of our trip to Strawberry.
You can't do that, Phil. The Mexico rule only works if... Wait, Strawberry? The hell do we want to go back to that shit heap for?
My best guess is that Miss Catherine Morgan asked him to come back in the letter she sent.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Phil. I don't want to have to buy another horse. I like Pale Horse. He's a good boy, ain't you? You're such a good boy.
Hey! Someone is asking for our help, which means it is highly likely that it's a situation in which law can't help with. That means they're looking for hired guns, and that hardly ever works out the way folks hope it will. So for once in our miserable lives, we're gonna do the right thing, and we're gonna help a lady in need, and I don't want to hear another goddamn word about it, or we in any way unclear on this particular matter.
We got you, Phil.
Fine.
It's only Christian to help those in need, after all.
Well, all right.
Before we ride off, I just got me one last thing I need to tend to.
I ain't playing around here, Pheart. Get on your fucking horse, or so help me, I will empty both barrels of this here shotgun into your worthless carcass.
You're right, Phil. Shouldn't keep a lady waiting. And I just want you to know, we ain't gonna poke fun at you the whole trip about how often your prick gets us into trouble.
3 or 4 days tops.
Hey, Frank, you remember that gal in Armadillo? The one that came in on the stagecoach turned out to be the sheriff's daughter? The one you said smelled like fresh rain or summer rain or whatever. You remember how I told you the sheriff chased old Phil down the street with an Indian tomahawk. Nearly scalped our big brother right there in the street before he shot the bastard's hand. You remember that?
I swear to the Almighty, I'm gonna punch both your asses.
I tell you, fellas, there is no place in the entire world that smells quite as offensive as Rhodes.
Deal with it. This is the last town we're gonna see in Telstra.
Hold up. We ain't going through Valentine?
No. We're gonna cut through the hills down to Flatiron Lake. After that, we'll stay close to the lake until we get to Bart's Crossing.
Well, that'll cut a few days off the trip for sure, but that's gonna be some rough traveling, especially if we can't resupply.
Which is why we're here. We'll get as much as we can carry, and then after that, we're gonna get ourselves a good meal and have a rest in a nice bed before we get started in the morning.
Oh, that sounds good to me.
Frank, you wander over to the general store and start getting what we need. I'm gonna take Pheart here and get ammunition since you didn't get that when we was in Saint Denis.
Need I remind you, Frank, you had one job.
I ain't the one who burned the place down.
Enough! Now let's get to it. We'll come get you when we're done, little brother.
Welcome in, gentlemen. Have a seat over there. I'll be with you in just 1 minute.
Thank you, ma'am.
Too bad you can't see this place, Frank. It's real nice. Some pretty stained glass windows and, well, looky there, there's even lace cloth on the table now. Isn't that fancy? This is one of the nicest places I think we ever been, eh, Phil?
Yeah, and it's gonna stay that way, Pheart. You keep them guns of yours holstered, or so help me, I will end you.
All right. No need to get your bustle all twisted.
Well, I'll say this for Rhodes. It may stink to high heaven, but at least their general store is well supplied. We got more than enough to make the trip to Strawberry and back.
It isn't often you find an honest shopkeep nowadays. He dealt fair with us, and I appreciate that.
That's why you gave him the extra coin?
Well, he'll remember us. We come back this way, he'll be falling over himself to get our business. Works better than flashing your gun every chance you get.
Oh, but it ain't nearly as much fun.
All right, fellas, what can I get for you?
What have you got in the way of food?
I think we might have some roast chicken left, but if I can offer a recommendation, I made my famous chili and some fresh bread. You can have as much as you like.
Sounds mighty fine, ma'am. We'll take the chili and some beers.
I promise you're gonna love it. I'll bring it straight away.
Thank you, ma'am.
Phil, couldn't we get the chicken? We're gonna be making bottom burps all night long.
Chili sticks to your ribs, and it's gonna be a while until we get anything more than rabbits or fish, if we're lucky.
She did say we could have as much as we wanted.
Exactly. So don't be shy. Eat up.
Here you go, boys. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, that smells delicious. Is that oregano I smell with the onions?
It is. How'd you know that?
Well, Frank here, he's got himself a great sense of smell, you know. On the case of him being blind.
Well, that's nice.
You'll have to forgive my brother. He gets all frazzled around pretty ladies such as yourself.
Aw. Well, I'm going to bring you some extra bread, sweetheart.
And now his head's gonna swell.
Which one?
Y'all are both so fucking funny, I can hardly stand it sometimes.
Not to change the subject from Pheart's latest infatuation, but I can't help but wonder what kind of trouble Miss Kitty is in that we need to go rushing all the way across the country for. Any thoughts on that, Phil?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't rightly know. If it were something like cattle rustlers, she could easily hire a few guns to handle it. Could be something to do with natives, but I don't recall them having that problem before.
'Cause there ain't no tribes nearby that valley. Closest tribe is at least 200 miles to the north. Only real danger in that area I recall is the occasional bear or mountain lion.
And I seriously doubt that she'd go through all the trouble of tracking us down if it were just some problems with local wildlife. Whatever it is, I reckon we'll find out soon enough. Now let's eat up so we can get some shut-eye. I want to leave at the crack of dawn. That means no late-night drinking, Pheart. You got me?
You don't have to keep telling me. I'll go right to bed, I swear.
Hey, I know you fellas. I've seen your faces. I know I have.
I think the whiskey's got you confused, friend.
No, I know you. You're them floaters. Yeah, there's a bounty on you for $100 apiece. I seen it on the wanted poster in the sheriff's office. Well, this must be my lucky day.
I didn't know the bounty was that high.
It's not. We cleared it, remember?
Will you two shut up? Now, no offense meant to you, sir, but you're mistaken. We're just a group of weary travelers passing through town on our way to Strawberry. Whoever you think we are, I promise you, we're not. So why don't you put your gun away and let us buy you a whiskey? We just want to finish our meal in peace here.
I don't know who you're used to dealing with, but I ain't some uneducated heathen, and you can't buy my integrity with a shot of whiskey either. I know you're them floaters, and I mean to collect the bounty on your heads. So why don't y'all stand up and we'll go over to the sheriff's office.
Excuse me, sir.
Pheart, I said this place stays nice.
Now, don't you fret, Phil. I got this.
Oh, now I'm worried.
Mister, I want to make you a predisposition.
Oh, shit, he's using the big words.
Pheart, that is not the right...
Now, don't go interrupting, Phil. Gentlemen's is talking here.
You fellas made a big mistake coming in here. Now, I want you all to keep your hands where I can see them and move real slow to the door there. Go on now.
Thomas Kincaid, you put that gun away right this minute.
Don't you go telling me my business. These fellas are wanted criminals.
Wait a minute here. I said I got a preponderance for you, mister.
What now?
Oh, you know, an offer, a deal. Don't you want to hear what it is?
No, I don't. I want you to shut your gobs and start walking.
Couldn't we wait until we finish our meal? This chili's really good.
I'm not going to tell you boys again.
All right, mister, you've made yourself plain. Come on, boys. Let's go see the sheriff.
Thank you, ma'am. The chili was very good. I'll be recommending it.
Move!
All right, we're coming.
Don't worry, boys. I got a plan.
Oh, Pheart, don't be getting any ideas here. Let's just go to the sheriff and sort it out there.
No, that'll take too long. Hey, mister, you know who we are. Then you know that we're not going to go so quietly now. It's likely that you'll get a shot or two off, but guessing from the whiskey I can smell on you, I doubt you'll hurt any of us too bad. But I guarantee you'll be dead. So, let me give you an alternative. My brothers here will hand over their guns to you right now, and you and I will square off like men.
What are you doing, Pheart?
Just hush now, Phrank. Men's is talking.
When you say square off...
I mean that you and I find out which of us is faster on the draw. We each take 30 paces, turn and fire. Now, if you manage to kill me, then you still get the bounty. If not, well, won't matter much seeing how you'll be dead and all.
Phil.
Pheart!
What are you saying, mister? You'll be known all over the territory as the man who outgunned Bartholomew Phineas Phloater.
I accept. Yeah, clearly you don't know who you're dealing with.
No, sir? I reckon I don't.
My name's Kincaid, and I'm the fastest gun in these parts. Ain't no one alive faster than me, I guarantee.
Yeah, I've heard fellas make that boast before. I guess we'll see. Go on, boys. Give the man your guns, and we'll get this done.
God damn it, Pheart.
Mr. Kincaid, you got any kin we should notify?
Never you mind that. I'd be more worried about planning the funeral for your brother there. All right, fella. I should warn you that. What the fuck?
Just needed to distract you.
You lying, dishonorable son of a bitch.
You should have listened to Phil and left well enough alone.
God damn it, Pheart!
What? I just saved us from going to jail.
We wasn't going to fucking jail, you idiot! We already cleared our names. There was no fucking bounty on us. We could have just gone to the sheriff and sorted this all out. This poor milk drinker would have just left disappointed and no one had to get shot.
And you're sure he'd have left it alone? Use your brain, Phil. Soon as he found out he wasn't getting his $300, he probably would have shot us out of spite. He was drunk enough to do it. I just saved our lives. You are welcome.
What the hell's going on here? You three, back up. Hands where I can see them. You, drop your gun.
Do it, Pheart.
I was gonna.
All right, start talking. Which of you shot Thomas?
Well, that'd be me, Sheriff. I didn't want to, but he didn't give me much of a choice. He was threatening to kill us.
And why was he doing that? You cheat him at cards or something?
No, sir, it wasn't anything like that at all. He seemed to think that we were outlaws or some such nonsense. We tried several times to tell him that we were just passing through, and he was mistaken about who we are. Then he pulled a gun on us. We figured we'd just let him take us to the sheriff and sort it out there, but then he started threatening to kill us. That's when my brother took matters into his own hands. He didn't mean to kill him, but...
Was he drunk?
He definitely smelled like it. His speech was slurred, to be sure.
Yeah, I thought so. I can smell it on him from here.
I suppose this means we're under arrest?
No. While I don't condone what you did here, Thomas Kincaid was a right prick. This town's gonna be better off without him. But I think it might be best if you get on your horses and left town tonight and don't come back. You hear?
Yes, sir. We hear you very loud and very clear.
Well, I guess that means we're not going to get to sleep in one of those nice beds after all. Pheart.
What?
Better a cold piece of earth than my jail cell.
Once again, sir, I agree with you. Let's go, boys. There's still a little daylight left.
Sheriff, if you wouldn't mind giving this to the lady who owns that fine establishment, we didn't get a chance to pay for our meal.
I'll see that she gets it. Now get on out of here.
Now I know why you wanted to avoid as many times as we could before Strawberry Phil. My apologies.
I don't know why y'all are so upset. Ungrateful is what it sounds like.
Bartholomew Phineas Phloater! I don't want to hear a single word out of your mouth.
I just...
Not one word, Pheart.
It's honorable that you want to protect your kin like that, Pheart, but you're building a reputation. Reputations, they eventually become the stuff of legends, and being a legend ain't all it's cracked up to be. No matter how good you think you are, there's always someone better looking to make a name for themselves. And you keep on like you are, eventually we're going to find ourselves in a position that no amount of words or bullets are going to get us out of. Maybe you might want to ponder that for the rest of the trip.
Yeah, all right.
And just so you know, you are fully responsible for getting all our food the rest of the trip. Oh.
The Legend of the Brothers Phloater, Episode 1, The Letter. Directed by Travis Box. Written and produced by James Robinson. Story by James Robinson. Music by Danny Hedham. Characters created by James Robinson, Travis Box, and Danny Hedham. Featuring the voice talents of Travis Box, Danny Hedham, James Robinson, Jeff Mitchell, Chris Williams, Bree Robinson, Justin Mansfield, and Samantha Stark. The Legend of the Brothers Phloater is a Not Another Podcast production.